Martin invited me for dinner, and then halfway over dinner he said, well, we're doing this thing after dinner. So I said, what thing? So we just had to show up, and they're free drinks, and so anyway, this was a private dinner for the elite, that Martin wouldn't acknowledge, of course. You're the masses, we're the elite. So I was walking over, and there's a guy I was walking with. Is he here? Another speaker. Anyway, there he is. So I said to him, he said, what's your thing about? And I said, what's your thing about? He said, well, I'm against democracy. He said, I'm against, well, sorry, what's your name?
Flores.
Florence?
Flores.
Oh, Flores. So he said, I'm against democracy, I want more democracy. So of course I said, and some of you may know my work, Cult of the Amateur, I'm what you might think of as an unfashionable authoritarian. I said, I'm against all forms of democracy. And all my work, and this is why I don't have no idea why Martin invited me to this thing, I'm against democracy, all forms of democracy. And I wrote a book called The Cult of the Amateur, which was an attack, a critique of the democratization of the culture. So anyway, so I'm walking over here, I'm saying I'm against democracy, and I show up, and I'm given this piece of paper. And I don't read Dutch, but my friend, is everyone in Holland called Martin? Do men have any other name except for Martin?
Flores.
Except for Florence. So anyway, my other friend Martin, seem to attract Martins here, did the translation. He showed me this thing, and of course, what do I find? A valuation envelope. You all got one, right? So what game is Martin, the other Martin, the first Martin playing with you? He's turning you all into economists, right? He's amateurizing the idea of economics. There's no entry fee here. There's no determination of the value of the speakers. He's saying, we don't know what you're worth, or we don't know the value of this event. We're going to allow the audience to determine it. Is that fun? In the old days, in the mass industrial days, the days which I think I'm the only person in the universe who's nostalgic for the 20th century, and this isn't a joke, price was determined before you walked in. But now Martin, who speaks in the language of openness and transparency, the new orthodoxies of the new age, and of course Martin is the new orthodoxy, very good at it as well, the smartest new orthodox. He is defining this age in terms of forcing the audience to determine the value of the event. So you're all economists, and what I'm concerned with, and perhaps we can have a conversation about this later, is what I would call, and Marx talked about this in the middle of the 19th century in his German ideology, and in Das Kapital, in the fetishization of value. What he's doing with these kind of events is fetishizing value. He's forcing you to determine the value of an event which you have no idea. How are you supposed to know whether to put 20 euro or 100 euro over dinner? He was boasting. Martin, am I allowed to give out trade secrets here?
Of course, you're Andrew.
He was boasting about someone slipping a $200, is there such a thing as a 200 euro?
No.
There is.
Martin's never seen one. So what's the evening worth to you? Is this how we're going to live after you have sex? Apparently, according to Martin, this is a good opportunity to meet people after the real action takes place after the event. You meet members of, or in Amsterdam, so maybe members of the same sex as well, but you meet people and you hook up. Is this the new definition of value. You're supposed to say to someone in the morning, what was it worth to you? So my reactionary advice to this event, having been forced into it and not reading Dutch, is that we need to go back to the absolutism, the elitism of traditional economics. We need to maintain traditional notions of value. Because if we force all valuation onto you, then things go wrong. You're not going to have fun. Someone at the beginning talked about having fun. It's not fun if at the back of your mind you're saying to yourself, how much is this thing worth? In the same way as journalism isn't fun when you all have to become citizen journalists. It's no fun when you all have to make movies and put it onto YouTube. Better to rely on the professionals, the economists, the journalists, the filmmakers, the writers. Because when we have the amateurization of culture, and Martin is the supreme professional, dressed up as the amateur, then we're all in trouble. So that's my little contribution for tonight. Deeply reactionary, proudly reactionary, and of course worth 0.